So we're going into tonight's Big Brother, and it's either Cliff or Nicole that's going to be going. I think Cliff. I watched a little bit of live stream footage this morning where Christy's talking to Nicole and assuring her that she thinks she might be able to get the votes. There's a split in the House right now, and it looks like the votes might be 6-4. I say that, and yet when the vote actually happens, it'll probably be 10-0. The way this normally works, unless somebody throws one vote the other way just to throw everything off. That's how Nicole ends up on the block this week. That's where that all gets started. I want to talk about something I saw on Big Brother though this week that stuck with me. So Isabella confronts Nicole on statements that her and Nick are bullies, and gets right up in her face. And Nicole's very no, 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 no. I'm not saying you're a bully. I'm not saying you're a bully. Um, I think sometimes people don't understand what bullying is. I don't think Isabella understands what bullying is. It's not about locking a kid, throwing a kid in the locker. It's not about knocking the books out of their hand. Bullying doesn't just entail the physical and threatening people. Sometimes it's just making them really uncomfortable, getting right up in their face kind of thing, and being really assertive. And she did that. And it shook Nicole up. That is bullying. Getting up at somebody's face. What did you say? Yeah, that's an intimidation. That's a form of bullying. So with what's gone on in the house, I honestly I wonder if they keep Nicole around, and then there's this 6-shooter alliance that's in the Grateful Alliance, and then you've got the 9. See, the easiest thing to do if you're head of household next week is to just keep the 9 together, keep your head down, and just vote out somebody that everybody's going to agree with. But if the person who gets brought back into the house from Camp Minority, I mean comeback, if that person gets head of household, it can kind of turn things on its ear. Remember, though, you only get a week. You only get a week to turn the house on its ear. When people say, oh, it's this big week of everything's going to change, it really usually doesn't. So unless we see, let's just say Ovi. Let's say Ovi comes in, he wins head of household, and he somehow gets Jack out of the house. Then you've made a huge power play, and you've opened up the game. I'm not saying to get rid of Jack because just of the horrible things he said, which makes sense. When you bring somebody to the final 2, and you're going, this guy's a jerk, I'm bringing him with me, you run the risk of the jury looking at you and going, you brought him because he's a jerk, but we knew that about him. You lied to get us out of the house. You went with him and partnered up with him, betting on us, the jury, voting for you. You know what? We're going to throw our votes to him. It happens. So the idea of, I'm going to bring this person to a final 2 because that means I win, very often it doesn't. Very often it means you're done. So be very, very careful about who you bring to a final 2. I honestly think the smartest thing to do, you sit down, you have a final 2 deal with somebody you really trust, you get along with, and it should be somebody that if you lose that $500,000 to them, you go, that was fun, that was fine. And again, I'll bring him up again because it's worthy of note, Chilltown. If you have Mike and Will as the last 2, they don't care that the other person gets the $500,000. They really don't. That's not their concern. Doesn't bother them at all. Danielle and Evil Dick, and as much as everybody hated them, if they're the final 2, they don't really care. Father and daughter, they don't really care as much. So the idea of you got to bring Jack along, I think if somebody makes a play right now, next week, and gets the biggest threat in the house out, because here's the other problem. So let's say you go, we're going to keep Jack until final 6, and then we'll get him out. Well, what if he's winning the vetoes? What if he's winning all... He's physically the biggest guy in the house. So what if he's winning all the comps? What if you can't get him out? And then the whole, well, you could backdoor him. Well, what if you don't get that opportunity? So sometimes I've seen that before too, where people will hold on to the wrong person for too long, and then you can't get him out. And that's a problem too. it's a strategy where, and I said in the last video I did on this, where it feels like the people in the house aren't playing for $500,000. They're playing safe. They're playing not to endanger their game. Now, I'm not talking about Nicole or Bella, who, Nicole should have kept her mouth shut. Shouldn't have told Bella that people were thinking about getting her out. And Bella really needs to stop just blabbing to people all the time. She needs to stop. If Bella wins, the whole show should be shut down. Just that would be awful. I'm hoping for a Kemi comeback, head of household, and for her somehow to get some kind of an immunity that keeps her in the house until the final four. I would love to see her get a lot further in the game, based on just the way that she's been getting bullied in the house. And I'm gonna call them out on this. Now, we talked about the editing, right, in a video a couple videos ago. Kemi was in the first 10 seconds of last night's episode and during the credits. You wouldn't know she was in the house. Now, I understand they're not playing the game with her, and she's not really part of the strategies because she's in Camp Comeback, but they didn't even show her. And we know from people watching live feeds, there's been a lot going on in the house involving her. A lot of conversations with her that people are talking about on social media, and yet for the show, here she is in the first 10 seconds. Oh, and we'll throw her into the closing credits, sitting around the pool in her Camp Comeback outfit. I'm bewildered at how they're editing this all together. And again, it's even the way they edited last night's episode, and you can tell they're trying to they're trying to minimize that appearance that this group is bullying people that aren't in their humongous, stupidly large alliance, but they are. They absolutely are. And when you see Nicole come to the door and they go, nope, and they shut the door in her face. And then Ovi goes up and goes, that's kind of rude. And they're like, who are you to talk to us, Ovi? Keep your mouth shut. There's an intimidation factor that's there from that whole group that doesn't sit well with me, where there's an unwillingness to even talk to people who aren't in the group. It's so weird. And yet they won't come out and admit, yeah, we're in this giant alliance. Christy almost did. Christy to Nicole today, she was really close. And the live feed footage I watched, she was really, really close. She kept saying, oh, I'm kind of close to Jack. Yeah, I can talk to these people and these people. And it's like, you're giving away your alliance. The people you just mentioned, that's your alliance. And so for Nicole, it should be hitting her. Christy doesn't have your back. Whatever alliance she has, you're not in. And I'm bewildered at how this is taking place and this huge alliance. I will say this, as much as we've got a house full of people that aren't necessarily fantastically wonderful people, when these people implode, when this group implodes, and they have to turn on each other because there's nobody else around, we have the potential for the most vicious finale to Big Brother we've ever seen. The most vicious last month this show has ever seen. And, I mean, we're talking just really crazed stuff going on in this house on a level that I don't think we've seen before. Because these people are so temperamental. Christy's so paranoid. Bella is such a big mouth. Jack's power hungry all the time. He's very controlling. And you've got Mickey and Nick that are in that same kind of vein. And man, when these people have to turn against each other, it's going to get pretty strong. So I'll use the VPN thing to watch some live feed stuff. Because again, you get stuff on the live feed you may not get on the show. There's the eviction tonight. You know what? There's so much reassurance going towards Nicole. For all we know, Nicole goes. According to the people that were talking in the chat for the live stream, they all said it's Cliff. Cliff's on his way out the door. But this could turn. This could 100% turn. I could see the house turning against Nicole because of this perceived her not being loyal to the alliance she's not a part of. I find that really, really weird. It's really strange. And coming from somebody who watches a lot of sports, be like, just the other team being mad at you because you're not supporting them when you're on the other team. And that definitely is how it feels in this house right now, that there are two sides, and there's the one that's made up of the large group of predominantly white people, And then there's the group of outcasts and people who just don't quite fit in, and maybe they're not as pretty as the other people. And in the case of those who've already been taken out, they're minorities. It's an uncomfortable season. It's a bad look, and we'll see what happens tonight and if that changes things. So Camp Comeback, who do you want to see come back into the house, and who do you want to see get voted out tonight? Um, and how do you think this all shakes out? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for the growth that this channel's been showing. I have a lot of videos I throw up on my main channel, which is the hockey channel. But if I see a lot of growth over here, you get more videos on the Entertainment Guy channel, and I enjoy that too. It's nice to talk about something else. Thank you guys so much for watching and for all your support. I'll talk to you again soon.